la 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Beautiful.
Do you know what that nigun is called?
Well, you wrote it down. Spring forward. Is that what it is?
It is technically the spring and snowing in Buffalo.
It's the craziest thing, isn't it?
When I put this in for the book, I was thinking like, oh yes, it's going to be springtime and it's going to be Mother's Day and it's such a happy nigun, a wordless melody, a wordless Jewish melody that wouldn't it be timely? And here it is snowing and cold and...
Paul, you've been here a long time. You ever had snow in Buffalo on Mother's Day? Can you remember that? Definitely. Paul said yes, most definitely. We haven't lived here long enough to have experienced that pleasure. But it was wonderful. I got to watch Julia and Chris Cohen put up a mezuzah in the snow. It was quite something. Just last week we were outside and it was 60 degrees, I think, on Sunday. So let's come into our service. We welcome you in to our virtual Shir Shalom. This is, believe it or not, our 9th service without any participants live, virtual. And by this time, I think you guys are used to it. If you're new, we welcome you to our spiritual community. And we're really, really glad that you're tuning in. This is really the least that we can do, Cantor and Paul and myself. We really want to send out love to you guys and healing and health in this very difficult period for us in this world. And of course, a happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day weekend. Special shout out on my family to my wife and my mom and my mother-in-law, wherever you are. I know, I think Ashir is watching, and of course to Cantor. Do you have any plans for Mother's Day?
I don't know yet. I really don't know. Well, we have the big concert. Well, for me it's big, but the Mother's Day concert tomorrow night, and that's a lot of songs that are included in that are particularly moving for me, the fact that it's Mother's Day. So that's big. And I'm sure I'll speak to all my girls, on the phone, and maybe we'll all gather on Zoom or FaceTime or something together.
Yeah, it's a whole different world. Maybe they'll surprise you with something.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep my plans a secret. So I think it's about that time to call our synagogue president, Bruce Korus. So I'm going to call him up, and he's going to wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom and no doubt a happy Mother's Day too. By the way, as I'm calling him up, you can see our setup. We have beautiful flowers that Joanne had purchased in honor of Mother's Day, and we have the room's already set up for our event tomorrow. It's ringing.
Hello, Rabbi.
Hi, Bruce. All right, I'm going to put you up to the microphone.
Okay,
You're all set.
great. Well, Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi and Cantor and Paul, and Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I hope that you have all had an uneventful week. Let me begin by wishing all of the mothers in the congregation a happy Mother's Day. I hope if you are not able to be with your family physically this Sunday, you'll be with them virtually or on the phone, and it will be as good a day as possible under the circumstances. Unfortunately, it is yet another holiday that is quite different this year. As you probably heard, it is extremely unlikely that Erie County will begin the process of reopening on May 15th. But the hope is things could begin to change on June 1st. However, it will be a slow process. Our next executive committee meeting is going to be Tuesday night, and that will be the major item on our agenda. we are planning for every scenario we can think of. And of course, in all likelihood, the scenario that happens won't be one that we thought of, no matter how many we've come up with. But it is our hope that having the tent and the ability to hold services outdoors will be an advantage for us. But there are a lot of logistics to work out. And as I've said all along, we are going to take every precaution that we feel is necessary based on the guidelines from state and local authorities and what we feel is prudent based on your safety. As you can imagine, it is complicated. In the meantime, we will continue to come up with new ideas and opportunities to keep you connected with the temple and with each other, including tomorrow night's concert and virtual reception, which the cantor just mentioned. The cantor will give you all the details about that a little later, and I'll be back with the full list of what's coming up in the next week later during the announcements. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom, Bruce. I'll talk to you in just a little bit.
Okay.
By the way, Rabbi, I loved your robocall today. Everybody out there get a robocall?
Yeah,
Was that today or yesterday?
It was today. Yeah,
Today.
It was fun. For some reason, I'm actually not on the list. My wife is, I think. But it was fun. I have to record. This is just revealing. I have to record my robocalls outside, and it was snowing today. So I was pacing around Roman Lane in the snow, trying to record the message. But it's really great, and Cantor and I are kind of alternating. And
So that weird noise that I was hearing was the sound of your teeth chattering?
Oh, yes.
Because I went out for a walk today, and I couldn't believe how cold it was. Like, my head was getting blown,
Yeah, if you heard
blown
it.
right off my neck.
I think there was a car that went by at the same time, too, believe it or not. So let's just take a moment before we do candle lighting to just be present. Wherever you are, find a place of holiness, and you can close your eyes if you need. I want you to feel all of our presence surrounding you. I want you to feel the love of community, of family, and the blessings that we have. Take a moment just to reflect on your week and to consider what you want to take with you and what you want to leave behind. And I encourage you to take a couple of breaths and breathe into Shabbat with all the blessings that it brings. So we have the candle lighting. Our candle's already lit. If you haven't participated before, I invite you to join in on our Zoom candle lighting. We have about 10 to 15 participants, and it's really a wonderful community before our service. You can get the link, get sent out through the email. On page 120, we have candle lighting, and I'm going to invite Cantor over to lead our blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you, the candles that light our way through Shabbat and provide us a sense of family and community. We turn to Kiddush, page 123. And I have my secret stash of wine over here, 123. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'yava uvratzon hinchilanu Zikaron lemahase bereshit, ki hu yom techila, lemikra kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta, v'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'yavahu v'ratzon, hinchaltanu, baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim, to life. On the bottom of page 124, we're using the Mishkan Tefillah. It is available on the CCAR website, or you can contact Joanne if you don't have a book, and she'll make sure to get it to you. We have a wonderful reading that Bruce often leads. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of the synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. Amen. And when we say synagogue, it's very expansive. It's our spiritual community in this case. On page 138, we're going to welcome Shabbat into our spaces with L'chad Odi, singing out to the bride of Shabbat, and we sing the first 3 verses on 138, and then the 9th verse on 139. At that point, we rise and we face our doorways and we bow to Shabbat as it enters into our room, and then we welcome all who are present with us with a Shabbat Shalom.
Kala, Shabbat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Mekabela.
Shabbat Shalom and welcome Shabbat into our spiritual communities. I invite you to remain standing for the Baruch Hu, our call to prayer, page 146. Page 146.
La 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 la. Adonai, Hamevorach, Leolam, Leolam Vaed. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la.
Page 147 below the second reading on the page. Please join with me wherever you are, and it's good to sing and to read, and that way that it'll feel much more close to the prayer service, so please join with me. O God, you are as near as the very air we breathe, yet farther than the farthermost star. We yearn to reach you. We seek the light and warmth of your presence. Though we say you are near, we are lonely and alone. Oh, let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Let your light release our darkness and reveal the glory and joy of your presence. And we continue with the Shema, our sacred words of our tradition, page 152 and 153.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shenkevod Malkuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shenkevod Malkuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
You may be seated, page 154, the V'ahavta.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele Hashem Anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavcha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam lebot ayatecha vehayu letotafot ben einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beit בביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Amen. Let's turn to page 159 at the top, and please join with me in the English. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children, the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. On the right side of the page, the Mi Chamocha.
La 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'edim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh, norati hilot hosefele, norati hilot hosefele. Malechutecha ra'uvanecha, u'kiyayam lifnei Moshe, ze'elianu ve'ameru, ze'elianu ve'ameru, Adonai Imlo le'olam va'ed, Adonai Imlo le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, la 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 la.
Baruch atah Adonai Gaal Yisrael. Blessed are you, God, who sees us through the dark spaces into the light. And we're going to turn to page 161. And you were telling about this one, that there's a left side of the page CD. Is that what it is?
Piece is written specifically for the left side. You know, every time we do all of these prayers, we're always on the, except the Ve'ahavta sometimes is on the left because it faces the Shema in some services, but the Hebrew is always on the right? And then we take some of the interesting readings on the left-hand side of the page, those of you that have the Sidurim open so that you can see the two sides of it, like an open book. So this was written for the left side of the page by Noah Aronson.
I love
Let
it,
there
'cause-
be love.
Yeah, we sometimes we forget about that left side, so it's good to give it its due.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be a shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be a shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashivenu, Lishalom, V'ha'amidenu, Shomrenu L'chaim, Uvrus Aleinu, Sukkot Shalom Echad, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu, L'shalom.
Beautiful. And we're going to turn to the Amidah, our standing prayer. If you're able to stand, please rise, page 164. If you're not able to rise, just bend your knee, straighten it, straighten your back as we approach the prayer, 164, and we'll continue through 170.
Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Agitehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei Avotenu, v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibur v'Hanora, Eloyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zochei Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevii Gibura Livnei V'Neihem, L'Ma'an Shemo V'Ahava, V'Lekol Zeru Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Yezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, V'chayei hakol Atah Rav leHoshia, Morid atah V'chakel Chaim v'Chesed, V'chayei hakol V'rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afor, V'Hamacha Ba'al Gevurot, U'Bidom Melech, Melech Mebi, Umechayeh, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atar hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kadoshim b'chol yom Hallelujah Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el hakadosh.
We take a few moments of quiet for our own prayers, and we'll resume on page 178 with Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki Adam Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki Adam Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
A great peace should fill this world. We're going to turn now to our healing prayers. This is actually the time where we need a great healing. We need extra strong healing prayers. The blessing is on page 371 in the middle, the Misha Berach by Debbie Friedman. And certainly our hearts are heavy with people we know suffering in a variety of different ways. We're going to read the names that we have on our list, and we encourage you to say the names of people you're thinking about out loud. If you do have someone and you want us to read it, just send an email out to Joanne or Nancy or myself, Cantor, and we'll get the name on the list. And we're sending prayers out to all those suffering out there, especially with COVID, and especially all the first responders and all the many people who are working to really save so many lives. So we're thinking about Atara Ayelet, Vivian Burstein, Peter Coyle, Kathy and Chris Crawford, Sydney Ehrenreich, Don Galinsky, Cheryl and Dennis Halpern, Greg Hill, Beth Q, Marcy Leonard, Barbara Trigan Lupkin, Diane Lynch, Natasha Kokin, Carol Kozmowski, Jeffrey Howard Krebs, Robin Mordant Kress, Larry Perlitz, Joni Schwartz, Carol Silverman, Flora Sna, Aileen Savransky, Laura Spire, Carla Weissman, Avraham Ben Moshe, Sarah Bat Chaya, Malka Bat Naftali, Kayla Bat Miriam, Miriam Friedel, and Zahava. And I'll offer if you have any.
Jesse Bushman.
And for you as well, just say those names out loud or keep them in your heart as we bring them in. And the prayer is on page 371. Please join Cantor in singing the blessing.
May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
A complete healing of body and soul. We send so many prayers out to you for healing, both spiritually and physically, emotionally. I think we could all use a little bit more healing these days. So Shabbat Shalom. It's really wonderful for you to be a part of our service tonight. Very meaningful for us, and it's quite something. We're on the 9th Shabbat of this pandemic, ninth Shabbat, 9th week of being in virtual services. And we also are marking a time in the Omer, this counting from Passover, which is the 30th day of the Omer tonight. And the 30th day of the Omer means that we are getting very close to a very important holiday that's somewhat little known, but it's widely celebrated in Israel, which is the 33rd day of the Omer, or Lag BaOmer. And that will be on Monday and Tuesday. And actually, we've designed a really cool thing. We're going to be doing a parade of cars from our synagogue up North Forest to Besedek, and then over to the Weinberg JCC Camp Centerland campus, and then all the way concluding at the Broder Center of the Temple Beth Zion on Sweet Home. It's going to be a pretty cool way to show support, because in Israel, this is a very, very festive day, full of bonfires and picnics. I guess the closest thing is actually Memorial Day on our calendar, where people go out and they play games and they just have a lot of fun together. Lag BaOmer itself is a very unusual holiday in the fact that we have no idea where it actually comes from. And I learned something this week about the difference between a secret and a mystery. This is from the New York Times. I never knew this or thought about this, and this is the way the government thinks about secrets and mysteries. So a secret is something that people are withholding from you, so that you can find out that answer. It's somewhere out there. And if someone just revealed it to us, or that we find a way to get to the bottom of it, then we'll know what the answer is. A mystery is something that no one knows the answer to, and maybe we will solve it. We would call this a kushia, I guess, a challenge, something that's out there that it's not so easy to find an answer, because no one's withholding it from us, it's just hard to find. So I would say, in terms of Lag BaOmer, it is not a secret, because I'm not sure who is withholding it. Whoever is withholding this knowledge died many, many years ago, but it is certainly a mystery. And the mystery itself actually begins in the Talmud. So first of all, let's talk about what the Omer period between Passover and Shavuot. This is actually the happiest time of the entire year. This is the time of the Passover festival, and then leading into the Feast of Weeks and the barley harvest. And all these things are extremely festive. It's sort of like an extended period of July 4th. Very, very happy day. And then something happens that changes it. One clue that we have as to why this period becomes a very sad period is actually from the Talmud. And I'm going to read a section from Yibamot, one of the sections of the Talmud, where it talks about this. It's from Yibamot 62b. And it talks about a terrible event that happens in the middle of this Omer, that Rabbi Akiva, who is the preeminent rabbi of the time period, has many, many students. In fact, he has 24,000 students. It seems like something that could only occur in this age and with virtual students, but according to the Talmud, he had 24,000 or 12,000 pairs, or chavruta. So it says there in Yebamot, with regard to the 12,000 pairs of Rabbi Akiva's students, the Gemara adds, that's the Talmud, it is taught that all of them died in the period between Passover and until Shavuot. Rav Hana bar Abba said, and some say it was Rabbi Hia bar Avin, they all died a bad death. The Gemara inquires, what is that called a bad death? And Rab Nachman says, diphtheria. So actually, they allude to some sort of infectious disease, so it very much connects to our time frame here. But we actually don't know, but suddenly this becomes a sad period. And in most of Jewish history, during the Omer, as soon as you leave Passover, that's when our hair gets really big. Because one of the ways that we grieve, actually, is we don't cut our hair. And so if you're a barber in Israel, whether it's COVID-19 or not, for an entire month, you're not cutting your hair. Maybe you're not actually going to any concerts. It's sort of like a mini version of what we're actually going through right now. And that is the way it's generally observed. And then something happens, this 33 random day, 33rd day of the Omer. And we actually have no idea why this is the one day that suddenly we're allowed to celebrate. One hint at that comes in the Talmud, is that on the 33rd day, this plague, whatever it was, ended. So suddenly Rabbi Akiva's students stopped suffering, and they began to again return to their studies. So that could be one way. Another thing comes down to two different Shimons. The first Shimon is connected to Rabbi Akiva. Shimon, Bar Kokhba, who is the famous general who took on the Romans in 132 CE. And it's this famous 3-year revolt that he managed to attack the 9th Legion of the Romans, their most powerful army, and win against the Romans for 3 entire years. And it's said that on the 33rd day of the Omer is when the battle started. So that's one possible clue. Another is another character that is a mystical character from the Talmud, Shimon bar Yochai, who was a famous rabbi who lived somewhere around then, who comes out of a cave and returns to normal life during this period. So we don't actually know where all this is, but it actually, the likely source is much, much later, 1,000 years later, in some of the worst tragedies prior to the Holocaust that Jews experienced. And it experienced under the Rhine River in kind of the German area in 1096 was one of the major times where, you've heard of the Crusades. Well, at that same time period, the Jews living there in Germany were attacked. And there were terrible pogroms, terrible ritual murder, and it was really a slaughter. And one way that we can think about the Omer is this is the time that we are actually mourning these horrendous events. We knew in the Christian world often around Easter and Passover was the most dangerous time of the year. That is when the rumors started swirling about Christian blood and Jews and all these awful things that were once believed, all these kind of conspiracy theories, we would say today. So the Omer is actually marking all of these different time periods, all these moments that were part of our history that we might have forgotten the exact moment that they happened, but they're still there, and we're still mourning them. I find that very powerful. Even if we don't know the people exactly that we're mourning, and we don't know what exactly happened, we know that there was sadness, And we know in order to confront the sadness, we have to have ritual, we have to have mourning. And that's our way. And then we also know we have to find joy. And so this holiday of Lag BaOmer was born as kind of a release, because at some point these tragedies ended and communities returned. It's sort of a little bit of what we're going through now. Maybe years, 1,000 years from now, who knows? Maybe people will feel a little sadness about this time. And then maybe in that same time frame, they will also feel the joy that we survived and we moved on to something different, some new parts of life. And we retain it. It's always retained. It's in us somehow. So I want you to sit with that mystery. Don't be afraid of it. It's not a secret being withheld from us. It's okay. You can choose to mourn or celebrate things that are unknown, the unknown. And we go into the unknown during this period. So we're going to mark this 30th day on page 570. The 30th day, which is 4 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. And that means we're just a few weeks away from the holiday of Shavuot, page 570 again. It's a very simple ritual. I was talking to Kirsty Henry, who will be leading a Lag BaOmer celebration that the Center for Engagement and Learning is putting on Tuesday at 6:30, and she's going to be reciting this blessing for Lag BaOmer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. O praise to you, Adonai, sovereign of all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to count this period of the Omer. Hayom shloshim yom shehem arba'a shvuot v'shnei yamim la'omer. Today is the 30th day, which is 4 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. And I should also say it's the 9th week of our pandemic. Amen, we say together. And I think we're ready for the end of the service. It's that time for Aleinu as we go into the mysteries. I don't know, do you have any, Cantor, did you have any customs for Lag BaOmer? Anything particular? I'll tell you a funny thing. In my Jewish high school, we always were promised a day off where we could go to the park on Lag BaOmer, but if it rained, it was done. And every year it rained. There was like 2 years of my entire journey through middle school and high school that we got to go out, and I remember them being really fun. But every other day, the teachers rejoiced and the students were sad. It didn't snow, though. Page 586. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה להיות celebration, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגום עלינו ככל המונם. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 591.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
You may be seated. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding, loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech. May we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth all over the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. We're going to turn to the Mourner's Kaddish on page 598. Here we go. First of all, our condolences to the family of Marina Finkelstein. Her aunt, Connie Piero, died. May her memory be a blessing. I got to meet Connie, and she's a beautiful soul, and sadly missed by the family. On our Shloshim list, those who died in the past month, we're remembering Ed Barzis, Richard Bach, David Bushman, Ruth Bat Chana, Marilyn Davis, Lorraine Dweck, Relaine Feugelman, Harold Goldstein, William Heitner, David Lodge, Leonard Mordetsky, Helen Singh, and Joseph Terranova. On our yard site list from years past, we remember Bernard Balt, Lois Block, Albert Bookbinder, Doris Lenoble Brody, Samuel Cohen, Abraham Cohn, Elizabeth P. Eisner, Eleanor Frank, Patricia Krohn Freudenheim, David Gavin, Judy Goldberg, Barbara Goldstein, Marjorie S. Green, Anna Gross, Julia Canner, Barney Kaufman, Mary Kranitz, Ida Lawrence, Rachel Littenberg, Samuel Moscato, Francis Neiman, Teresa Pascuzzi, Pearl Pakel, John Scherlitz, Minnie Schreiber, Meyer Sirota, Samuel Trieger, Aaron Tsipnik, Victor Wagner, and Estelle Weitzner. If there's other names, I invite you to say your names out loud wherever you are, and please rise, page 598, all whose custom it is to rise. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divra chirate, v'yamlich malchute, v'chayachon u'v'yamachon u'v'chayed achol beit Yisrael, b'gala u'v'zman kariv imaru, amen. Yehei shmei rabbah varach li'olam olmei olmaya, yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudashah b'rechu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran v'yalma v'yimaru amen. Yehei shalom rabbah amin shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimaru amen. Oseh shalom v'yimarumav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yal kol yoshvei tevel v'yimaru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel and to all the world, to which we say, amen. Zikronam livracha, may their memories always be for a blessing. I'm going to call on our synagogue president, Bruce Corris, again to give the announcements.
Hello, Rabbi.
Hi, Bruce. I'm going to put you on right now.
Okay, great.
You're all set.
Great. Shabbat Shalom again, everyone. Thank you to Rabbi Alex, Cantor Frank, and Paul Staley for a lovely Thursday night in honor of Shabbat. We appreciate your efforts for maintaining our Erev Shabbat service. This is so important to our members, and I know how much they appreciate having this available every Friday night. Our Saturday virtual offerings include Torah study at 9 a.m. and the Shabbat morning service at 11 a.m. The Shabbat, this is neat. Following the Shabbat morning service, there will be a virtual Kiddush luncheon. Stay and schmooze. All of the events will be available via Zoom. Go to the website for the links. Tomorrow night, as we've mentioned, we have our very special Havdalah service and Mother's Day weekend concert. That starts tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. It will feature Cantor Frank, Paul Staley, and the Rabbi. The event will take place on live stream via Boxcast and Facebook Live, and it will be followed by a virtual concert reception on Zoom. Go to the website to register for that. We're going to be schmoozing all over the place this weekend. It's going to be wonderful. We are starting a new tradition in honor of Mother's Day. Please share something about your mom, either a picture, a memory, or a story. And you can send it to the rabbi at his email, LazarusKlein@yahoo.com, and he will share them during the concert on Saturday evening. I'm not going to share any stories about Emma. Meditation Moment returns on Sunday at 7 o'clock p.m. That will be with Dr. Yanina Foster via Zoom. Laughter Yoga will be on Thursday at 3 o'clock with Dr. Ellen Frankie via Zoom. So join us for those events. As the rabbi mentioned earlier, we have something really cool coming up on Tuesday. The religious school will be celebrating Lag BaOmer at 4:30 p.m. with a car parade. We want you to meet in our parking lot. The caravan will then go to Temple Beth Tzedek, the Weinberg JCC Centerland campus, and then finish up at the Temple Beth Hein Broder building. Decorate your cars and join us. And you do not have to be a religious school parent to take part. The entire congregation is welcome to join in. The rabbi will have Talmud study on Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. via Zoom. Stay tuned for updates on when we will be holding our annual congregational meeting that is ordinarily held in May. We're still working on that. I do want to say a special thank you to the members who have volunteered through our Shir Shalom outreach program. We have members who are calling other members, who are making deliveries for them, and I can tell you that that is so appreciated. And if you would like some assistance, if you would like some help with deliveries or groceries or things like that, or need a phone call from someone, please contact Nancy McGorry in the Temple office. Next Friday, we will have our candle lighting at 6:45 via Zoom, and our Erev Shabbat service at 7 o'clock p.m., live streamed via Boxcast. If you need anything at all, please feel free to reach out to me, Rabbi Alex, Cantor Frank, or Joanne. We are here for you. Have a safe and wonderful Shabbat. Happy Mother's Day, and I hope you all have an uneventful week. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Thanks, Bruce. Shabbat Shalom. Beautiful. So just a couple other things. First of all, a lot of our events now you have to just pre-register. So those of you joining us on our Saturday morning service, make sure you click on the link beforehand, and then you'll get a way in to it. And also, Cantor is going to be involved in a great program run, I think I mentioned it earlier, from the Center for Engagement and Learning of the Jewish Federation. It'll be a Tuesday at 6:30, and you can find it at the Buffalo Jewish Federation's Facebook page. It'll be under Facebook Live at 6:30. And we also are so proud of Kirsty Henry, one of our members, who is the MC of the event. So wonderful, wonderful job. I don't know, I think that's good. There's so many different things. So just tune in, and we are planning something special for Shavuot. So just be on the lookout for it. We'll get you more details next week. Okay. We are going to be concluding with something that says that the service is really good. It's called This Is Very Good. I think it's normally in our other program. Oh, is it in this one too?
It's on 649 in here.
649, beautiful. I just want to put out a plug. Tomorrow night's going to be amazing. Please turn in and please send me some of your announcements. One last thing. This is Audrey Nadell made a lot of our masks as well. We thanked Relic Chorus last week. I also want to thank Audrey for her beautiful, beautiful mask. Thank you.
When God made the world, God made it full of light. The sun to shine by day, the moon and stars by night. God made it full of life. Lilies, oaks and trout, tigers and bears, sparrows, hawks, and apes. And God took clay from like God we think, like God we care, like God we love, like God we think, like God we care. This very good, this very good, man, woman, and child, all are good. This very good, this very good, man, woman, and child, all are good. Man, woman, and child, all are good.
I encourage you to go get your challah if you have it. I've heard from many of you, you're eating during this, and that's okay. But if you have bread, or if you're waiting to eat, go get it. Or if you have gluten-free bread, like Cantor and Audrey and I, go get that as well. We hold it up to say Hamotzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Bless you, God, who brings forth the bread from the earth. I almost did it again. As you came in peace, may you leave in peace. So many blessings your way.
And God took clay from earth's four corners to give it the breath of life. And God said, sing with us, this very good, this very good, man, woman, and child, all are good.
Man. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom.